Ebenezer. Um, my name is Ebenezer. I'm your host on 45 minutes with my HR. We want to welcome each and every one of us to this event tonight, and we hope that you enjoy yourself and you get the best out of this. Please never mind the attendance or participation as we progress into the webinar, so that a lot of people will be joining us, and also some of that will join us via YouTube. So my name is Ebenezer, like I said, and I want to do the introduction, and after that, we are going to introduce our guest speaker. Then we'll kick off. Right, and the ideal of 45 minutes with my HR occurs when people call employees from different companies or firms. We'll be asking me and my team about human resource related issue, like what should be, we should interpret their contract of employment and clauses. We should advise them on pension, on taxes, on the rest. So we now discover that, okay, let's create a channel where we can pull people from different places of work, and we'll bring a senior human resource and workplace experts to come and address you know questions that come cut across our employment life. So that's why we are live with one of the finest leading human resource experts. I can assure you that you are going to enjoy your evening with us. Once again, thank you and welcome to 45 minutes with my HR tonight. Uh, can we please have the introduction of guest speaker? Happiness, over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ebenezer, for the introduction and for the brief intro of 45 minutes with my HR. Good evening, everyone, and I trust we are all doing fine. Okay, so we'll just get right into it. So I'll be introducing our guest speaker today, who is in our midst, by name Mr. Michael Ogo. So I'll go ahead to read his profile to us. So sit back and listen. So Mr. Ogo, who is fondly called Emo, is a man of many fortes and passions, a polymath, visionary, enabler, strategist, pace setter, trailblazer, shepherd, leader, mentor, counselor, and author. Professionally, Michael is a senior HR executive, certified management consultant, corporate trainer and facilitator, talent management thought leader, and certified professional coach with over a decade multi-sector and multidisciplinary work experience, cutting across manufacturing, health services, financial services, capital markets, transport and logistics sector. Michael is the first Nigerian and African to earn the prestigious Global Talent Management Leader, GTML, certification from the Talent Management Institute. He's an alumnus of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Akwa, and the University of Lagos, Akoka. He holds a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and a master's degree in public and international affairs. He's also an alumnus of the prestigious Faith Foundation. He's also a member of many professional bodies, both in Nigeria and abroad, some of which include the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria, the Society for Human Resources Management, the Talent Management Institute, the Learning and Performance Institute, the International Association of Facilitators, and the International Coaching Federation. He is also a faculty member for academic and executive education programs at the Lagos Business School, and is currently the founder and global president of the Association of Elite Human Resource Professionals. Michael is the author of the book, Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility. He is happily married with a son and resides in Lagos, Nigeria. Let's make welcome for our prestigious guest speaker tonight, Mr. Michael Ogu. You're welcome, sir. So we can share in our welcome notes on the chat box as he take over. You have the floor, sir. You're welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Happiness, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with us on the call. Happiness has introduced me, just to give additional information. My website has not been updated with that information, but I am an author of 3 published books as of today: Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility, Getting Mentoring Right, and Anchored. Anchored is my latest book. Anchored is all about how to thrive and excel in an ever-changing post-pandemic world. And having said that, the topic that I'm asked to share is very practical, and I would love to share for a bit and then take question and answer. So it's an open-ended question titled, "Who is managing your career?" And so I'd like to throw that question back to us. Let me even see if we understand where that topic has its root from. So if I were to ask everyone on the call, who do you think should be responsible for managing your career? Can I get responses in the chat box? Who should be responsible for managing your career? Is it you? Is it your organization? Is it your friend? Is it your parents? Is it the society? Who should be responsible for managing your career? Please share with me in the chat box. Who should be responsible for managing your career? Who should be responsible for managing your career? Thank you so much, Happiness. Happiness says, "I'm responsible for managing your career." Is Happiness the only person on the call? Who are the other people on the call? Bola James says, "I want to believe it's you and your organization." Okay. I'd like to hear more people respond. Okay, so let me start by saying that the primary responsibility for the management of your career is you. That means that there are secondary responsibilities on other third parties, but the primary responsibility actually rests on you. And if you do nothing about your career, you will have yourself to blame. Please write that down. If you do nothing about your career, you will have yourself to blame in the long term. Take, for instance, if you did not go to the university, will any employer employ you? If your parents paid your school fees and you did not read, will you graduate from the university? So I often tell people that the primary responsibility for any task, particularly when it comes to career growth and advancement, you are the primary responsibility. You have the sole primary responsibility for the management of your career. And so tonight, I'm going to share with you a couple of tips from my personal journey, from my personal career journey, on how you can manage your career and how you can navigate your career for success. I'll share for a couple of minutes, and then I'd like to take practical questions so that we can all learn from each other. So the first thing I'd like to share with us tonight, if you are going to successfully manage and navigate your career, is that you must realize that you can blame no other person other than yourself. That means the person that should be blamed is the person who stands before the mirror. So please write that down. The first nugget I want to share with you tonight is, if you are to blame anybody for where you are at this point in your career, blame yourself. So I often say to people, success, career success, starts from the place of owning personal responsibility. You see, people abdicate the responsibility for their career growth to their organization. I'm sorry, if that's your mindset, you are far from achieving career success. The primary responsibility for managing your career rests upon yourself. I often tell people that when you see, if you are driving a car, if you do not understand that the person in the driver's seat is the one who will be held responsible when there's an accident, then there's a problem. A lot of people delegate their career progress to other people, but you should be the one in the driver's seat. So it starts by recognizing that if there's anyone to be blamed for where you are today in your career, you are to blame yourself. So that's number one thing I want to share with you tonight. The second thing I want to share with you is that you must have a career vision for yourself. You must have a career vision. Some people will call it career goals, career dreams, career aspirations. They are all synonyms. But you must have a career vision for yourself. You know what a career vision does for you? It prevents you from comparing your career growth with other people. It prevents you from making hasty decisions. It will prevent you from having career accidents. Three important things of having a career vision. Where do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now? You must have a career vision. You see, because that career vision will drive the kinds of decisions you will be making. The decision whether you need to move from one organization to another at any point in your career vision will guide it. So if you do not have a career vision, I think it's time you have one. And you see, your vision comes from within. It's seated on your inside. So you need to have a career vision for yourself. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 4 years from now? Where do you see yourself even 2 years from now? It will guide the kind of career associates that hang around you, the kind of association you keep. You see, because when you have cast a vision for yourself, it will guide the decisions you'll be making. Let me share a bit of my career journey with you. So when I started my career far back, 2007, I had a vision of where I wanted to be by 2017. And what was that vision? That by 2017, I will not only be well paid, I will be one of the decorated HR professionals in Nigeria. So when I got into 2015, 8 years down the line, I realized that some portions of my career vision had not been fulfilled. Specifically, I wanted to take a couple of certification exams. So what then happened? In 2016, I discovered that I needed to take some exams. And what happened? That vision fueled me. That vision, and that vision, it still propels me because you see, vision has different versions. As you continue to fulfill certain aspects of your vision, another version keeps reappearing. So you must have a career vision. If you don't have a career vision, then I'm sorry, you'll just be running up and down. You'll be making decisions anyhow. You'll be comparing yourself with people, whereas there's no basis for comparison, really. So the second thing I want to share with you, if you are going to manage your career very well, because the question is, who is managing your career? And we've been able to agree and establish that you are responsible for managing your career. And if you're going to manage it successfully, then you need to pay attention to the things I'm saying. So the second thing is you need to have a career vision. You need to do what? Have a career vision. And I've shared about 4 reasons why you need to have one. It will prevent you from comparing yourself. It will help you make the right decisions. It will serve as a source of internal motivation, just to mention a few. The fourth thing that will help you to successfully manage your career and navigate your career properly is that you need to be deliberate and intentional about personal growth and development. Guys, see, I will not deceive you. They say, where preparation meets opportunity, what happens? Success happens. You need to be deliberate and intentional about your personal growth and development. So the question is, are you investing in yourself and in your career? What courses have you taken? And the truth is, we live in a world where there's a lot of information. There are a lot of courses that are free on Google. Google has a lot of Google Analytics course. On Udemy, you can get Udemy courses for as low as 99 cents, $1. On Coursera, on LinkedIn Learning, just to mention a few. Just yesterday, I was talking to a friend. I said, Emo, you need to go and upskill, go and learn new skills outside of HR. And guess what, folks? I want to pick photography. I want to go and pick graphics designing. I want to go and pick video editing. Because guess what? It's part of personal growth and development. So you need to be deliberate. See, if you're going to manage your career successfully, if you're going to navigate your career successfully, you need to be deliberate and intentional. That year, 2016, that I shared with you guys, I wrote 4 HR certification exams, 4 of them. SPHRI, GPHR, PHRI, SHRM, SCP. The total amount of money I spent that year was 2.2 million. This is 6 years after. I've gotten a return on investment of almost 5 times from that 2.2 million I spent. In 2019, I also decided to go and upskill myself. So I went to a coaching academy because I'm an accredited executive coach. And I'm one of the few that is accredited by the ICF here in Nigeria. Guess what, guys? And this is not to make you feel inferior, but to let you know that, see, when you are going to invest in yourself, you spend money. I spent over 3 million going to a coaching academy. I started reaping that investment already. You see, because when you develop yourself, it makes you more valuable, number one. Number two, it makes you more marketable. It increases your marketability. You'll be more valuable, you'll be more marketable. Suddenly, when you develop yourself, it gives you a higher negotiating power. You can negotiate more. So don't see any cost of investing in yourself as suffering. No, you will reap it in the long term. The return will come. So you need to be deliberate and intentional about your personal growth and development if you are going to successfully manage your career. Number 3, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Number 3 is you must realize that you need to be patient with the process. And when I mean you need to be patient with the process, you need to understand what stage you are in your career growth and master that stage before you move to the next. So there are 5 stages of your career. There are what? There are 5 stages of your career. Stage 1 is the learning phase, when you're going to be learning. We call it the greenhorn phase. You are a newbie in that career. Whether you just transition from another career to that career, or you are entering that career afresh. The second stage is what I call the value delivery stage or phase, where now you are learning, but they are now soaking you where you need to get your hands dirty and you are adding value. Stage 3 is the earning phase. From stage 3, you can begin to put a premium on yourself. But you see, you've not grown that premium first. Because you see, there's a difference between a brand and a premium brand. At stage 3, you have become a brand. But as you move to stage 4 and 5, which I'll share with you, you can become a premium brand. So stage 3 is the earning phase, where you can now say, you know what, I think it's high time I start earning 1 million naira a month. And you already have the skill sets, you have the value that you bring to the table, you have the certifications, you have the embodiment that will help you command that kind of value. Stage 4 is the visibility and thought leadership phase, where people are now seeking you out, seeking your opinion. You have influence, you're an influencer. You are a subject matter expert. They invite you to speak at conferences and all of that. Lastly, stage 5 is the legacy phase, which I like to call the giving back phase, where you are now committed to raising and mentoring other people. And I started doing a lot of that now by mentoring the next generation through my books, through my group coaching sessions, through my mentoring programs and all of that. So you need to be patient with each phase you are in your career. Am I making sense to someone? The fourth thing that will help you manage your career successfully, and please pay attention here, is what I call a currency. You must be deliberate and intentional about building your social capital. In other words, building your relationships. Relationship is a currency. You need to be deliberate and intentional about building relationships. Don't joke with it. You get to a certain phase in your career, certain jobs are not advertised. They are not advertised. They come through your relationships, through referrals, through recommendations. So if at this point in time, you cannot point to people that can speak for you, there's a problem. So the question is, are you building those strategic relationships? You see, relationship is a currency. I'm an entrepreneur today, and I can tell you a lot of the jobs I'm getting as a consultant, they are not advertised. Even when I was in paid employment, apart from my first job, my other roles came through relationship. They were not advertised roles. Mo, are you interested in this role? Yes. I show up for the interview. I meet with the key decision makers. They make me an offer. I resume. You must build relationships. You must build relationships with seniors, with your peers, with juniors. And let me shock you guys. I have a lot of juniors in my network. They are the younger ones I'm mentoring now. It will shock you. I got a training for one of the big banks in Nigeria. They paid me good money. Do you know who referred me? One of my mentees. One of my mentees. I'm a relationship-minded person. Who do you have in your network that can speak for you? Who do you have in your network that can refer you for a job? Build relationships. Be deliberate and intentional about building your social capital, your relationship currency. Very important. Very, very, very important. When it comes to the subject of relationships, there are 5 kinds of people you must have in your corner. If you don't have them today, make efforts to have all of them, because your career cannot experience a leap if anyone is missing. So what are the 5 types of people you must have in your corner? You must have a coach. You must have a coach. I will not deceive you. You must have a coach. I did not get to certain levels of seniority without a coach. Number 2, you must have an accountability partner. You must have an accountability partner. Number 3, you must have a linker. A linker is someone who links you to job opportunities, whether they are advertised or not advertised. Number 4, you must have a mentor. You must have a what? Mentor. And number 5, you must have a sponsor. If you remember the word CALMS, C-A-L-M-S, you can't forget it. You must have those 5 people in your corner. You must have them in your corner. Let me shock you. I have a coach. I'm a coach, or I have a coach. I have accountability partners. I have a linker. In fact, I have many linkers. Mo, there's this opportunity. Come, let's go and take it. Mo, this one. I have linkers. You need linkers. Linkers are people that will connect you with opportunities, not only job opportunities. And you need a mentor. There's a limit to which you can advance and grow in your career without the input of a mentor. I will not deceive you. There has been a lot of rubbish going on social media that people don't need mentors. Don't be deceived. Don't join that bandwagon. Don't be deceived. Mentoring is a gift. And if you meet the right mentor, your career can take accelerated steps. And you need a sponsor. All right? What number am I now? Let me see if people are following me. Number 4, right, Ebenezer?
Yes, number 4, but yes, number 4.
Okay. So I will stop. I have about 10 nuggets, but I'll stop at number 5 so that we'll take questions. And then in the course of the questions, I'll begin to chip the nuggets. Okay. So the 5th thing I want to share with you, and please pay attention very well. I'm going to share a screen now. Do I have opportunity to share a screen? Fine. The 5th thing I want to share with you is what I call hone your craft. Be deliberate and intentional about honing your craft. Be deliberate and intentional about honing your craft. I'm going to share with you something I developed. It's in my 3rd book titled Anchored. I want to share with you something I developed that will help you realize that you need to hone your craft. If you can see my screen, please type yes in the chat box. The fifth thing I want to share with you is that you must be deliberate and intentional about honing your craft. And by honing your craft, I mean, I want you to become a master. I want you to gain mastery of whatever career you find yourself. So this thing I want to share with you is in one of my books. All right. It's what I developed it last year. It's called the Mastery Pyramid. You see, because when you become a master, you will be sought after. You'll be sought after. People will seek your audience. People will look for you. Become a master. So there are 5 levels in the Mastery Pyramid. Number 1 is gift and talent. Don't rest there. Oh, I'm a gifted writer. Don't rest there. Move to, you see, when you polish your gift or your talent, they become skills. Let me use writing as an example. If someone has a writing gift, that's level 1. But you know that when you polish your writing gift, there are several expressions of a writing gift. I'll share them with you. Content creation, it's writing. Authoring a book, it's writing. Copywriting, it's writing. Being a ghostwriter, it's writing. Writing press releases, is writing. Writing newspaper articles, is writing. Don't stay at the level of gifts and talents only. Now, when you further develop your skills, they become competence. You become competent. From level 3, you move to level 4. You are now an expert. When you get to level 5, it's the level of synthesis where you can reproduce what you have learned into other people. So the 5th thing I want you to hear from me tonight is you must be deliberate and intentional about mastering your craft, honing your craft, seek to become a master. A lot of people just want to get to the peak overnight. No, there's a process. There's a process to get into becoming a master. I was talking to a young chap a couple of days ago, 2 years in HR, and said, I'm a strategic HR professional. I said, what have you handled in HR that you are calling yourself strategic HR professional? Have you dealt with stakeholders? Have you had mergers and acquisitions? Have you managed this kind of workforce? Have you had situations where you've had executive management push you back on a couple of things? All the answers were no. So why are you calling yourself strategic? Don't be in a hurry to get to level 5. But the truth is, as you make progress from one level to the other, your growth and your progress will be evident to all. So ladies and gentlemen, let me stop here. Ebenezer, I'm a very practical person. I love to take questions if they have them. And then if there are none, I'll chip in the other 5 principles or things I wanted to share. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you guys on successfully managing your career. I'll be more than happy to take questions just before we wrap up so that we can keep to time, because I'm a man under authority. So thank you so much, and we'll take questions if they have any.
Thank you so much, Emo. Thank you so much. I'm really excited about the insights I've gained tonight. Okay, so to the audience, if you have questions, you can start throwing it in the chat box so that Emo will take your questions. While we wait on that, I have my own question to ask. So you mentioned about relationship currency, how we need to be deliberate and intentional about building relationships. And you mentioned people we should have in our network. You mentioned coach, accountability partner, linker, mentor, sponsor. So can we actually find all of these people in one person? Like, can our coach also be our mentor, be our accountability partner, and all of that?
Yes, it's possible. You can find the 5 in one person on this condition if that person is a trained professional coach. You see, because there are a lot of people who are coaches and they are not coaches really. A lot of people don't understand what coaching is all about. because someone all of a sudden has become head of HR, and then he feels he can become a coach. A lot of people are teaching other people in the name of coaching. Coaching and mentoring and teaching, they are three different disciplines. So yes, if the person is a trained coach, you can have, you know, the 5 things in one person. But if the person is not, you can have 2 people, you know. So for example, I have a couple of young folks who I play those 5 roles to them. And their coach, they pay me to coach them because coaching is not free. I'm also the accountability partner. And when there are opportunities, I link them up. In fact, sometimes I prepare them for interviews. I'm a mentor to so many of them. And a lot of them, you know, before I mentor, I first tell you, go and take my manual. I don't mentor people without them reading my book on mentoring, so that the mentoring agreement and the mentoring process is clear, okay? So that, you know, boundaries are set and all of that. And for some people in the course of their career, I had to sponsor them, put in a word. So yes, there are people I played those 5 roles for, and there are some people I played the 4 roles for. So yes, if you are blessed that the person who you have is a certified professional coach and has gone through an accredited coach training program approved by the International Coaching Federation, which is a world global body of coaching, you are okay, you are good to go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that's clearly explains my question. So before I move on to my next question, I just want to ask this question based on what you just said. As a certified coach, I'm sure the audience here are listening. If actually we want, you know, you coaching us, how do we go about it?
Okay, so I often tell people that getting a coach is not something you can actually do without. So let me start by saying that as a coach, I have a coach. All right. You'll be amazed that last week I had a coaching session and it was paid for. I needed them to coach me on leadership. All right. So I often tell people that first, if you want to know an excellent coach, he has a coach. So if you want me to coach you, it's very simple. I will drop my contacts. You can always reach me at the end of the session. Okay. And I don't know if I told Ebenezer, okay, I did not tell him. For anyone that wants to purchase any of my products, meaning you want to get my book, you get a 10% discount if you take the offer before midnight today. And then if you want to hire me as your coach as well, you will get 10%. Now, it's a very simple process. You reach out to me, we have a chemistry call. It's a two-way call. It's both a chemistry and a clarity call, meaning we will get to find out if we are a good match as a coach and as a client. And then lastly, I try to find out what do you need coaching on, and then you agree on which of my coaching packages you want to take based on, you know, your pockets, and then from there. So my least coaching package is the bronze package. The bronze package comes with 6 coaching sessions and 2 accountability sessions. Then the next package is the silver, which is 9 coaching sessions and 3 accountability sessions. And then the last is the gold package, which is 12 coaching sessions and 4 accountability sessions. So I hope that answers your question, Happiness.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I'm sure the audience also have heard you. Just as you said, we look forward to getting your contact, you know, at the end of this session. So to my last question, sir, you mentioned about 5 phases. Yeah, you mentioned the learning phase, value delivery phase, ending phase. So how do you recognize your phase per time? And when do you, when will you understand the next, when it's ripe or when it's time for you to move to the next phase?
Interesting question. I was expecting that question anyway. So I'll give you a couple of pointers. Now, a lot of people have said that, why don't I use number of years? And I said, the danger of using number of years sometimes is you can have someone who has been on a particular role for 10 years, for example, and has not learned anything, cannot even become head of HR, for example, if we use HR. So at the learning phase, you are hungry, okay? How do you know you are ready to move from the learning phase to the value delivery phase? Now, it's very simple. You are a continuous learner. You are a voracious reader. If there is a body of competency and knowledge, for example, you have mastered that body of competency and knowledge. You know the in and out. So I often use the CIPM as an example so that, you know, we can put that thing, because most often times people get deceived that I spent 5 years in my career, I should move to the next level. Number of years, like I said, can be deceptive. So let's use CIPM and HR as an example. The moment you get your ACIPM, you've moved from learning phase to value delivery phase. Before you got your CIPM certification, let's say you are learning phase. Now at the value delivery phase, you are now putting to practice the things that you have learned. Now, how do you know that you have moved from the value delivery phase to the learning phase? I often say that you must have done a minimum of 3 cycles on that role in different organizations. Let me explain. So take, for instance, you have moved from HR assistant to HR officer, okay? If you move from HR officer in one organization, you moved maybe senior HR officer to another organization, and maybe to HR manager in the 3rd organization, whether it takes you 3 years, 4 years. The key thing is that you are learning by doing. So you are able to do it and you can replicate what you have done in other organizations, then you are ready to move to the earning phase. Because at the earning phase, we are paying you both for your expertise and for you to be able to take leadership of the team. And don't forget that for people at the top, you're paying them to get results. So if you have been able to duplicate those same results, then you are ready to move to the earning phase. From the earning phase, as you keep growing and people are now recognizing your work, then you now move to the
Visibility phase.
So I talk about this in my book, Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility. There's a chapter on visibility. There's a chapter on relationships. There's a chapter on peak performance and career. You get to learn all those things. You know, I often say that, and why I say this is because I've met people, HR professionals, and this is by no means disrespecting anybody. I've met people who have done 13, 14 years in HR, guys, and they don't, some of them even don't understand simple OKR. Some of them don't even understand simple balance scorecard. Some of them, if you tell them go and draft a policy from scratch, they'll be looking for templates. At that level, you should be creating templates for other people. You should be setting standards for other people. So that's why, for me, this is me, so you can quote me. I do not use number of years to determine your progression among your career, along the career phase, because you can have spent 10 years and you may still be at value delivery. You may have spent 40 years and you just got to any phase. So it's different strokes for different people. I hope that adds clarity. Happiness.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your response, sir. Okay, just looking at our time, there's a question here from Bola James. The question is, moving into HR as a career, where do you start from? Because there are lots of HR career courses available. Which one would be good for a beginner?
IPM exam route will expose you to the HR body of knowledge, and then you begin to get familiar with HR terminologies. Okay, so I would say, if you've not started CIPM, start and then get a mentor. What a mentor does is to shorten your time span, and a mentor will be able to guide you. All right. So let me also just attack that from Symbology. From the answer you gave now, I have moved from HR officer to HR manager. All right. So, Bola, the thing is, now that you are a HR manager, can you duplicate yourself in other people? Have you come to the point where you have gained mastery of the value chain of HR? If you can confidently say that, then you might as well be in stage 3 or stage 4 of your career. If I ask you to prepare an offer letter from scratch, and you need to keep referring to a template, then sorry, you have not gained mastery of that aspect. That's what I often tell people. Templates are there to guide us, not for us to do copy and paste. Do you know that someone sent me an offer letter? Guess what? It was copy and paste. The guy did not even edit it. It was carrying their logo, but the body of the letter was reading another company. I just laughed, you know, I laughed. So guys, we can have a lot of conversations offline, you know, but that's what I will say. That's what I will say for now. Lydia is laughing. What if you don't have places to be trained? Get a mentor. A mentor will serve as a trainer for you, you know. So I have a mentoring platform for young folks and for young HR and career folks. It's a 1-year program, very rigorous, very intensive. And one of the things I do with them is that I give them practical HR projects to go and work on. I have solved them, but I tell them to go and solve it. 1 year long. I think I'm going to be starting the next cohort very soon. I'll let Ebenezer know when I'm starting and all of that. And for all of them who come on the program, you must get it. It's compulsory. You must get a copy of my book, Getting Mentoring Right, so that you are serious about the mentoring relationship. You know, I'm not someone who has time for frivolities. If I'm going to mentor you, then we must agree that you are ready to take the rigor. Okay, so that's what I would say for now. All right, Lydia, I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your insight tonight. Thank you so much for, honoring our invite tonight. I mean, it's been a great session so far, and I believe I've learned so much today, and I just need to hit the ground running, learning. Thank you so much, sir. We hope we can always call on you anytime, and you always honor us. Okay. This brings us to.
Ebenezer,
Okay.
sorry to cut you in, Happiness. Ebenezer will share my phone numbers with you guys, and you can always pick me up from there.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So,
hello, sir. You can help us to share that immediately on your LinkedIn profile too, or your LinkedIn contact in case they want to reach you on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp or the rest. Okay. Meanwhile,
I've dropped my WhatsApp number. Let me share my LinkedIn page, and
yes.
then you can connect with me on LinkedIn.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. While you are doing that, I just want to appreciate you for taking your time to share from your wealth of experience on how you've been able to move from one ladder to another ladder. I must confess that I'm really and deeply challenged. I like when you said you in 2016 that you spent almost 2 point something million naira on personal development. Sorry, I'm just coming from work. The kids at home. Please apology, please. All right. So
No,
that
no
you said
problem.
you spend about 2 point something million in a year for career development. That to me is still ringing bell on my head. I said, no, you need to really, really, run and the rest. So, to everybody on the call, the essence of this topic actually is that, we can't really deny the fact that in our work life or employment life, we'll be cheated, we'll be deceived, we'll be told a lie from employers, and it's normal. Sometimes due to some circumstances beyond their control, economy may not work very well, profit may not be as projected, and 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 they need to pay and they need to do something. So some promises may not be granted as at when due. So that's why there's need for us, like as our guest speaker said, that we should be the primary person responsible for our career. Of course, organizations have their own plan, friend and associations and the rest. But as as a will of moving forward in life, you should know that you are the CEO of your career. You are the one responsible to where you want to be in the next 1 month, 1 year. See, when I was preparing for this section, I saw something online today that where the speaker was talking about hopping, jumping, and skipping. That there are sometimes you just have to up for you to manage your career. You want to move from another company to another one on the same job career because you want to eat your vision. At the point in time, you just have to skip, and then the other time you have to just jump just for you to get to where you actually aim to be. So we want you to please and take whatever you've actually learned tonight from this section and just work with it. We understand that Nigeria and one other country, they are playing tonight, and that's why we seem to have a low turnout of participation tonight. But of course, we are going to share the YouTube and the record of tonight's session. Some people have even been asking, but we just want you to please take something out of this section, right? So all those five stages or phases of of employment life, from learning to value adding, earning, feasibility and mastery or so. Take those things, walk through. If you have not developed a vision for your career life, sit down. Like me, of course, since almost 7 to 8 years ago, I do use one jotter per year or one diary per year. Everything that happens to me spiritually, career wise, I jot it down. So if I want to make reference to something like to tonight's section on the 19th of January, I'm writing this session down just for me to to ensure that I want to get to where I'm going to. So, Mr. Michael Ogu Mo, thank you so much. I promise that your book I'm going to get one or two before the end of the week. Then also I have some personal questions to ask you. I'm working on some books, right, for you to really guide me on through. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for leading and contributing in the HR and workplace. We appreciate you, we love you, and we wish you well. That very soon there will be federal government appointment, national appointment. We pray for you, more light and more grace. Thank you so much. Before we go, we would like to take a final remark from you.
Okay, so the final remark will be the sixth key. I wish we had more time. Maybe what I would do, Ebenezer, is to share the other four with you, and then you can share with them. So the sixth thing, I said I wanted to share 10 things with you, but I'll share the sixth thing.
Sir, you can quickly share within just a few minutes, sir.
So don't worry, some of them would take time to share. All right. So the sixth thing I want you to understand is the principle of becoming. The principle of what? Becoming. And that means that never forget who you are and never forget what you can become as you journey your career. You see, because a lot of people chase the end goal, which is the destination, and they do not appreciate the journey. You will pick experiences on your career journey. Every experience shapes you. And as it shapes you to become a better version of yourself. So I want you to be open-minded to the experiences on your career journey. They will help you to become a better version of yourself. All right. So on this note, let me thank Ebenezer and the MyHR team for this opportunity and privilege. And like I had said, if you get any of my 3 books tonight, you will get a 10% discount. If you pay tonight, you don't pay tonight, sorry, you will buy the books at their original prices. If you go to my website, michaelogu.com, you can always purchase your orders, or you can contact me directly on WhatsApp to secure your orders. I've written 3 books: Managing Your Talent for Value and Visibility, Getting Mentoring Right, and Anchored. They are all career focused to help you succeed in your career and become a better version of yourself. Ebenezer, thank you so much for the opportunity, and my warm regards to everyone.
Thank you so much. We can all unmute our mic and just say a word of appreciation to our guest speaker tonight and wish him well.
Thank you so much, sir.